This man just wanted to go on vacation, but he discovered that his flight number was 150. The number 15 happened to be his date of birth. Even stranger was that due to weather conditions, the flight's departure time was delayed until 10:15. All of this seemed far too coincidental. Suddenly, Jack felt a twinge of unease, but after looking around, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Yet just as he sat down in his seat, still feeling anxious, he suddenly noticed an old-fashioned radio in the seat pocket in front of him. It was predicting a plane crash, and the flight it predicted was none other than his own flight 150. It said that after takeoff, it would start raining outside the window, and that an hour later, they would lose all contact with the ground. At first, Jack thought it must be a joke, so he didn't give it a second thought. But as the plane took off, a torrential downpour began outside the window. Meanwhile, the radio's broadcast continued, stating that Jack had no way out. It also said the plane was about to be struck by a bird. Jack immediately became skeptical. After all, they were thousands of meters in the air. Where would a bird come from? But the very next second, Jack was startled out of his wits. Could this prophecy be true? Thinking of the plane crash that was supposed to happen in an hour, Jack hurried to the restroom, constantly reassuring himself that it was all just a coincidence. Although, after leaving the restroom, the plane had returned to its usual calm, Jack was still shaken. He hurriedly pressed the call button, summoning a flight attendant, and asked if the plane had just been hit by a bird. The flight attendant looked very puzzled. He thought Jack might have been hallucinating. He told him to rest if he was tired. But just as the flight attendant left his seat, a voice came from behind. The man behind him was named Mike. He said he used to be a pilot himself. Mike warned him that he shouldn't have asked the flight attendant like that, because if the plane had been hit, how could they possibly reveal it so easily? Hearing this, Jack was filled with doubt. If the earlier jolt really was caused by a bird strike, then that would prove the prophecy on the radio was true. To avoid the plane crash that would occur in an hour, Jack put on his headphones and continued listening. Just then, the voice announced that the flight would vanish completely at 11:15, and before it disappeared, the captain would wish the passengers good night over the intercom. Just as Jack was feeling at a loss, a message suddenly came over the intercom. The plane is about to enter a storm. This instantly sent a cold sweat down Jack's back. It seemed the prophecy from the radio was true. Realizing that if he stayed in his seat, he would lose his life, Jack decided he wouldn't just sit there and wait for disaster. He hurriedly searched the cabin for clues, trying to prevent the impending plane crash.